Thank you to our sponsors for today's video, Eaton, Amber, InfyPower, and StarCharge. Eaton is a one-stop shop for implementing reliable and innovative EV charging infrastructure at your site. Across all applications, Eaton's EV charging infrastructure hardware and software gives you the scalability, flexibility, and intelligence you need to charge today and scale up tomorrow. Learn more at eaton.com/EVCI. Also, our sponsor Amber, providing modern protection plans for your Tesla's battery and more, without the hassle of long-term contracts or upfront payments. Check out the link in the description to explore their plan options and use code SPEC5 for a 5% discount on all orders. And InfyPower is the largest EV charger module provider with over 3 million power modules running reliably worldwide. Their latest G2 collection features ultra-high power density and efficiency for EV charging and energy storage integration. InfyPower, innovation for your power. And StarCharge, the largest EV charging manufacturer in the world, and is also a provider of residential and commercial battery storage with microgrid solutions. Hello and welcome to the middle of the desert and to another Out of Spec Reviews video. You joined me at the Rivian charging outpost in Joshua Tree because there are two exciting things happening that have caused me and Alyssa to drive all the way out here to the middle of the desert to shoot a video. First of all, when the Rivian Adventure Network launched, we were so excited because we have a Rivian R1T. We're like, oh, they're gonna put charging stations at trailheads and at places you would want to go in a Rivian. And what it turned out, at least initially, is they were off highways, at shopping malls, and I'm like, that's not very adventurous. But now the network is actually building out this sort of really cool charging experiences in places you would actually want to go adventure in your Rivian adventure vehicle. So we're here to look at this, which is the Joshua Tree charging outpost. It's a bit like a charging park, but outdoorsy themed. We're gonna show you all of that. And the second exciting reason is Rivian is now opening up their network to all electric vehicles. And I wanna take a look at their new dispenser. And I've even brought a non-Rivian electric vehicle, that electric Mercedes G-Wagon over there, and we're gonna charge it up and try it out. So it's an exciting day here on Out of Spec. We love Rivian, we love charging, we love adventuring with EVs, and we get to put it all together into one video for you today. Guys, this video is brought to you by Climate Exchange. Thrilled to be working with them for their annual EV raffle this year, where they are giving the grand prize winner $120,000 to spend on an electric car. They could choose a Tesla Cybertruck, a Tesla Model S Plaid, a Rivian R1T, or Lucid Gravity. On top of that, they'll even pay for all of the taxes and fees associated with that prize, which is super awesome. To double the excitement of your holiday gift, each ticket purchased before the end of the year also enters you into a bonus early bird drawing of $10,000 on January 3rd. And of course, all tickets are still entered into the grand prize drawing on February 28th. For those of you who don't know, Climate Exchange is a nonprofit working with states to fight climate change, so no matter what happens, you can feel good about contributing to an important cause. They only sell 5,000 tickets, and time is ticking on your chance to be entered into the early bird drawing, so don't miss out. Again, enter today at carbonraffle.org/outofspec. We are also, of course, coming into the holiday season, which means you can gift these raffle tickets. If you have a friend, a relative who's interested in electric cars and you are thinking, what is the perfect gift to get them for the holiday season? How about an entry into the Carbon Raffle? All you have to do is go to carbonraffle.org/outofspec, and when you're checking out, actually choose the gift option and you can send it digitally right to them. No wrapping necessary. Alyssa, you joined me behind the camera. Thanks for coming all the way out here. It's your first time in Joshua Tree, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And I'm excited. It seems like a really cool place to adventure at an adventure network. So it's finally an appropriate use case of the Rivian Adventure Network.
I don't ever want to come off that we complain about more charging stations go in the ground, especially reliable ones like Rivian has been. And I should also mention that, Alyssa, you and I were among the very first customers, I think the first customers to ever plug into the Rivian Adventure Network. So that was in Salida, Colorado at the launch a few years ago. And since then, Rivian really has built out an entire, network across America. And I would say they've done an incredible job of maintaining high reliability and building more sites very quickly, especially recently. The one thing we hadn't seen up to this point, though, are those adventure sites, like you mentioned, except now we're starting to see a few. And there's these Outposts, which is sort of their top tier charging offering that combines more than just a charging experience, but actually an experience to learn about the vehicles, learn about the environment, and have a lounge aspect to it. I absolutely love this because we are not near really much. The city of Joshua Tree is a couple miles that way. I mean, maybe not even that much, maybe a mile, mile and a half. You could walk if you wanted to. But this is an area where you're out in the desert. Rivian needed to build amenities around the charging station, and I think they have absolutely nailed this site. What's your initial impression before we go on the tour?
I mean, I think it's gorgeous. The aesthetic is very pleasing. It matches the environment around here in Joshua Tree. So I think they always nail the design aspect of things.
Totally. Well, the first thing I want to get into before we get into everything, actually, I should mention there's also a trailer spot here. Many Rivian sites include pull-through charging when available. That matters to us because we tow with our Rivian all the time. I want to talk about Rivian Network opening to all electric vehicles. So let's get the Mercedes plugged in and see how that works. Do you have your phone on you, Alyssa, with the Rivian app?
Yes.
I'm fairly certain you can tap to activate chargers with a credit card, but this is the new dispenser. So let's just talk about how this site's powered. Over there are the typical 300 kilowatt cabinets, I guess. And 3, 6, 9, 12. I'm not totally sure how they have this laid out because I thought each one of those cabinets fed 3 chargers, but in this case, they may actually 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I think in this case, they only feed 2 dispensers each, which is great, which means you actually get, oh yeah, they're just A and Bs. This is perfect. So you get 300 kilowatts if you're the only vehicle there, maximum conversion capability AC to DC, or if someone's on A and you plug into B, you'll get 150 kilowatt split. So I think that's really nice. I really don't like it when they do the 3 stalls per cabinet, because then you're limited to 100 kilowatts if you're sharing all 3. And actually earlier today we came to this site and they had this whole side blocked off. They're doing some construction over here to build a canopy, which will be perfect for the hot desert charging this summer. So all of these spaces will be under canopy, which is going to be amazing. And yeah, so there were a couple cars all lined up here and they had to power share. So I'm glad they're doing just 2 dispensers per cabinet. I'll talk a little bit more about the charging equipment, why I think they should have done a site level load distributed system, things like that. So we have the electric Mercedes G here, which is a bit of an R1S competitor. Let us know if you want to see a video comparing that R1S tri-motor over there to this Mercedes G580 with EQ technology is the official name. And what the hell is going on here, Alyssa?
We got a dingle dangle.
This is the stupidest thing, and if we had one, I would rip that off on day one, but it's not ours. It's just a review G-Wagon. So I'm going to go here to the Rivian app, and you can see it says plug in your Rivian to charge, but I don't think it's a touch screen. These are the new dispensers. Yeah, oh, it even lights up. Cool. So I can change the language. Perfect. We'll select English. It'll tell me it's 45 cents per kilowatt hour for Rivian vehicles and 60 cents per kilowatt hour for other vehicles. Jeez. It tells me maximum 300 kilowatts, and look at this, maximum current 500 amps. I love it. Now the camera picks this up as a rainbow.
Yeah, it's not a rainbow.
It's just a white light. I really think they should change the LEDs in here because every time we film these, they just look so silly. So in the Rivian app, you have the new one. We're going to come here to the map, and I'm just going to show how you can app activate it, but I'm pretty sure you can tap Visa, MasterCard, Discover, Amex, Apple Pay, or Google Pay. Boom, right there as well. But I'm really curious because some of you guys actually used our Rivian referral code.
Scan to start and pay via Rivian app.
Oh, amazing. And so I can see we're at 3A. So I'm going to come down here to 3A, and I'm going to say start charger. I want to know if they will actually bill us or if they won't, because some of you guys, like I mentioned, used our Rivian referral code. Just a handful. I really appreciate it. That's linked in the description if you're thinking about buying a Rivian. And it means we actually get free charging with our R1T, Alyssa, for like a few months.
That's really awesome.
I wonder if it transfers to non-Rivian. So anyway, I'm going to come here and I'm going to hit start charger, okay? This is my first time. Oh, add payment method. So nope, it doesn't transfer over. So rather than going through this and adding all the payment method right here in the app, I'm actually just going to plug in and tap my credit card. And that'll be like a great experience, I hope. So plug in, we're in. It says connecting. Let's see what happens. My first time trying a non-Tesla, or sorry, non-Rivian there. It says tap payment card below or pay with app. So tapped payment card. Okay, processing. Approved. Thank you guys for watching. This video is brought to you by the Out of Spec Viewer. Starting. And we're thinking the G is at like 16 or 17%. It's very inefficient.
It says this may take a moment.
Yeah, it's definitely taking a moment. Fans are kicking on in here. Oh, and we're ripping.
That's
1
good.
kilowatt.
That was a good timing.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty nice. And it's going up 22, 26, 30 kilowatts. Now, the G-Wagon is very similar to the Rivians, where it's a roughly 400 volt system architecture. And so it should just sit at 500 amps till about 50% or so. The G charges pretty well. Great thermal systems in this one, by the way. The Rivians have a double stacked battery with 1 cooling plate. The G also has a double stacked battery, but with 3 cooling plates. It's awesome. We're up to 100 kilowatts and still going. And we'll come back and check on this in a moment. But it's as simple as that. Plug in, tap your card, no special payment with apps or anything like that. No, like, you know, membership pricing, blah, blah, blah. I much prefer this. It's already doing 150 kilowatts and ramping still. 160, 170, 180, 190. Can we see 200? 198. Well, we'll take 198. That's about the maximum that the electric G can charge at. Not the latest and greatest technology, but it is built for toughness. So that was the whole reason we brought this car out here, Alyssa, was to show it charging on the Rivian charging network. What was your impression of how easy that is? If you roll up to a station, do you like that process, or would you change anything?
Yeah, I mean, compared to like other stations, I feel like EA and ChargePoint and all that, I think it's just as easy, if not easier. So I do enjoy that. I think, you know, plug and charge type options may come in the future.
Yeah,
Maybe.
and this is supported plug and charge with the Rivian vehicles, of course. And
Yeah.
it'll auto bill on your account. I wonder how they could do plug and charge with non-Rivians. They could issue their own certificate to install in the vehicle, perhaps, or maybe they could do some sort of roaming. Perhaps like you could get an IONNA certificate in the future and Rivian can roam with them. EA has shown that they don't want to roam with other networks, and I'm not sure Rivian's stance on it, but plug and charge would be really cool if they could somehow figure it out.
Is there any like subscription based like Tesla has for cheaper charging?
Not at the moment, no,
Okay.
not that I'm aware
Then
of.
there's no reason to have the app if you don't have a Rivian.
And I
So
think that's good.
yeah, the tap side of things, that was super simple. And if it's no cheaper using the app or anything, then I don't know, just keep it simple.
Yeah, I want the least amount of apps on my phone possible. So I really think that's wonderful. And what's nice is we have liquid cooled cables, a really nice dispenser, long cables. So if you remember, Alyssa, the earlier Rivian dispensers were a bit shorter and they had just that Huber Sooner cable, but it was like a short version.
Yeah.
Now they can support a bunch of different types of electric cars because they've got these really long cables. It's actually the same cable Electrify America uses, the newer version, but it's the same type of thing. And yeah, it's just sitting at roughly, 480, 490 amps, best I can tell, just under 200 kilowatts going into this, which is great. So that's the customer experience, the customer journey. Pull up, plug in, tap your card, you're good to go. And we should mention, how will you know when Rivian stations are open to the public or not? This is very new. I believe this was the first publicly available station that Rivian opened, but there's a few other sites coming online. There's some up there, and Rivian's even got some NEVI sites going, which means they were paid for by government funding, which is interesting. Those can all be found in the Rivian app, I think is the best way to know if they're online or not. PlugShare, of course, might distinguish between the two. I don't know if the Rivian stations show up in other cars' navigation system yet. Certainly this one did not pop up in the Mercedes.
No, it did not.
So I think there's still some work to like integrate this as like a CPO rather than just a walled garden of charging, but it's early days. I'm glad it's open. And certainly if you're coming here to Joshua Tree, this is the place to do it, and that's the process. And typically, my understanding is all of the really tall ones that you see, the 1.5 dispenser, those are going to be open to everyone, maybe not at launch, but shortly after. Really love it. So let's talk about how they get the site here. They have 12 charging stations. Most of them will be under the canopy. If you look this way, Alyssa, most of them will be under there, under that canopy. You've got 3 up front. You have a ADA site right over here that's labeled as a use last charging position. Although I guess you, in theory, could use either one of those. That ADA spot technically doesn't have a charger in front of it, but it could reach with a certain cable. So that's interesting. They're doing some construction over here. I'm not exactly sure what's happening. And then, you know, this station's offline just because of the construction, but you know, you've got another one right up here. So you can nose in. You've got some reserved parking for the Rivian team members. So this is for the folks who live here, because this isn't just a charging park, it's a sales center as well, which is really interesting, isn't it, Alyssa?
Yeah, we didn't know that coming out here, and that's great to hear that they're expanding that side of things and, you know, just utilizing the space for more than just a charging station. I think that's really smart.
Yeah, so you can come here in a G, in Mustang Mach-E, or whatever else you have, a Tesla with an adapter, and you can actually test drive the vehicles that they have. So they have R1S Tri-Maxes. Is this one also an R1T Tri-Max? So they've got the juicy ones here. And you can go take them for a half hour, an hour, go play around with them. And while your car's charging, drive some Rivians. That's perfect marketing, I think. Really, really nice. Come on this way, Alyssa. We're going to do a little bit of off-roading. Just watch for scorpions.
Oh,
I think that's what we have to watch for here. So coming up to the charging part of it, I wonder if I can hear which cabinet we're charging on. This one. Yeah, this one's got the fans on it. So each one of these cabinets feeds 2 dispensers at this particular site, which I'm glad they decided to pair one 300 kilowatt charger with 2 dispensers. And what's cool is actually their whole charging team was here today for like an off-site team gathering thing. So it was great to see some of them this morning. If I look at the labels, I don't even see them. Do they have them labeled anywhere? So this is just like arc flash issues, stuff like that. Power cabinet. Oh, here we go. Input current, full load. Yep, they support up to 920 volts. So I don't actually think these could full charge a Lucid, because Lucid's 924 volts full. This is 920 maximum. So you might get it up to 98, 99%. We have that issue on ChargePoint chargers sometimes, but I'd love to try it out. They can do 750 amp output continuous as a charging unit, but only 500 amps to one dispenser. And of course, they are rated from negative 20C to plus 40C. I'm sure they derate on either side of those because these will have to operate in harsher conditions than that. And there you go. That's how they work. My one wish for the Rivian sites, biggest request, is if these could all power share. So when you go to a Tesla version 3 supercharging site, they'll have a bunch of basically 365 kilowatt cabinets that are roughly this size, but there's a DC bus between them. So if someone plugs into, you know, 3A and 3B, what Tesla could do in this case, they would be able to take extra conversion power from the other chargers, input it into this one so that there's no derating. You don't have to worry about leaving a space between the two. This is a bit like version 2 superchargers where you never really want to plug into the next guy. And there are some sites where they power share them across 3 stations. And to me, that's a bit crazy. That's been my main criticism of the Rivian network so far, is the power sharing capabilities. By the way, really cool vibe here. It's like we literally are in the desert, Alyssa.
I mean, we are.
Yes. You've got your switch gear right over here. And then down this way is the transformer that feeds everything. So I just want to come down over here and see what the heck is going on. From a power conversion standpoint, you can see the power lines running up overhead. You've got your main input voltage coming into this transformer that outputs a 480 secondary voltage. It doesn't necessarily say how many kVA this thing is anywhere.
Over here?
Does it say kVA?
I don't know. There's just a thingy.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, there's that thing.
Oh, yeah. Let's take a look. That's great. Let's see what we got here. We've got Yucca Valley. How do you say that, Alyssa? Yucca Valley. Label date 10/24. Man, this is just put in just a couple months ago. And yeah, doesn't say.
2500 kVA.
Oh, where do you see that?
At the bottom here.
Oh, look at you. Yeah, nice. That's a juicy transformer. So basically 2.5 megawatts with a little bit of power factor variance feeding all of these chargers. That must have been juicy to put on these lines out here in the middle of nowhere. This is a site I'm really surprised they didn't have to do battery storage with.
Yeah.
We've yet to see a Rivian site go into sort of battery integration, which is something I think they probably should do sooner rather than later. So, okay, enough fooling around back here. Let's continue. Let's go run around. I want to go take a look at this building, go inside, see what the heck it's like inside. Wow, you're much smoother than I am.
Gotta hold the camera, gotta be smooth.
Okay, so G is still ripping over there. I can tell because the charger's green, so that's like just a nice thing. One thing I think would be really cool at these charging parks, we've never seen anyone do it, is to have like a screen that monitors what's going on. I'd love to know how many kilowatts each car is doing, how much power is coming in from the grid. Let us see the stats, and then I can see, okay, that guy's at 99%, this guy's at 20%, this guy arrived at 1 out of spec style. You can just see how people use their EVs, and I think that would be really fun. So walking in, that's the charging side of it. This is what makes it special, all of the amenities around this whole place. And we have a very Rivian themed building, Alyssa.
Very.
So first of all, it tells you like distances to other landmarks and places around, which is cool. So like Yosemite's 381 miles. We should mention that Yosemite is the site of the first Rivian charging outpost. This is the second one.
Yeah, we have not been there.
Yep, this one's out of service at the moment. Actually, I believe they're doing a big plumbing upgrade. We kind of came at the worst time.
Yeah.
Because they're doing site upgrade and plumbing upgrade, but we're here and I wanted to get the video. So they've got the dog bowl and they've also got a water bottle filler, everything right here, good to go. Another thing that's really great is because this is a 24-hour charging plaza, you don't necessarily want to have to go inside all the time or have to have it staffed all the time.
Right.
So you have restrooms right out here that I believe the Rivian app gives you a code to use.
Oh, okay.
So what happens if you just tap to pay with a credit card?
Maybe it shows it on the charger.
Maybe. We're going to ask, and that'll be at the end of the video, and we will let you know for sure. But there's 2 restrooms. Oh, no, just 1 restroom on the outside here that I guess is used for after hours.
Airproof trash cans, that's nice.
Also very Rivian. They tell you what all the plants and greenery is.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
Yeah.
It's a weed.
Okay, these are really cool. Don't know anything about plants, but like them. Oh, this is like a furry cactus thing.
Right. That's
That's how I would describe it. Cool. Let me just check to make sure they're okay that we go inside. Some people, they didn't say anything, but some people just don't love to be on camera. So I'm going to let them know that we're going to roll in with the camera, and then I'll be back with you. Welcome to the inside of the Rivian charging outpost Joshua Tree. Let's go. Feel like I'm giving an MTV Cribs tour.
That's the good days.
So we've got some cool things going on in here. First of all, just a nice space. This was a repurposed building that existed previously that was then remodeled, and
It was an old house that they've made into other businesses, and now it's this.
now it's this, yes. And so they feature some snacks, some chips, stuff that you would want, and it feels very Rivian. Everything's super like organic-y looking, healthy options, that kind of good stuff going around. We've got some other things you can purchase from local artists. And Alyssa, you said you liked these mugs.
I like this one because I like the thumb hole. Do you like that?
Oh, yeah.
Is that nice?
Yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah.
These are great.
You'd
Too
like
bad
that.
I have no room in my suitcase.
I have room.
Okay, maybe we'll get a couple then. If you've got room, we should get them. They're cool. They're from Uzumaki Ceramics. Shout out.
Yeah, Jacqueline Souza.
Great.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that's amazing. Then they've got just a bunch of, basically this whole thing is dedicated to like food, snacks, local businesses, Joshua Tree Blanket Co. Then back here is like going to the Rivian Gear Shop website, but you've got it all in a store. So we see this at service centers sometimes. You can get shirts, you can get Gear Guard,
Gary.
stuffed animal. I don't know if his name's officially Gary.
Yeah, it is. Gear Guard Gary.
It says it? No, I
I
don't.
thought his name is Gary. It's everybody.
Everyone calls him Gary, but I don't think his name's Gary, Alyssa. I don't think he has a gender. I don't know.
He's scary.
Okay, he's Gary.
Yeah.
We've assigned it.
Yeah. So they have like all of their nice water bottles and
Yeah, so you can spend money.
yeah, so yeah, here's some more local stuff like a candle company.
Oh gosh, don't get Alyssa in the candle aisle. Let's go, come on. So let's just run around through here really quick, Alyssa. I want to show everyone you've got a lounge area that you can come and hang out, so that's pretty cool. Just a couch, you know, little iPad. Again, this is also a sales location, so you can configure and order your vehicle here. They've got cold drinks where they charge you $3 for water.
I think that's a box of water. That's appropriate.
I still think they should have just some
They
basic.
You can get, so over here is complimentary coffee, and then you can fill up your water bottle right here,
Oh,
and they
okay.
have little cups here. So they
They
do
got
have
that.
all that stuff. They even have, you know, us lactose intolerant folks. get
Gosh,
milk.
only at an EV charging hub.
Only at Rivian.
Got a blanket here if it gets cold outside. Wrap yourself up in that one.
That is decor.
And then another all restroom over there.
Yeah, so they have a restroom inside.
We asked about the code for the restroom outside, Alyssa. What are you looking at here?
I just find this so weird that they have this all listed here
Yeah.
in a nice frame.
Oh, there's no cooling off period unless you obtain a contract cancellation option.
These two guys are just blasted with their salesperson's license.
Damn.
Interesting.
Okay. Welcome to.
That's a Yucca, by the way.
This is?
That's a Yucca, I believe.
I was just mentioning the restrooms outside. You know how we didn't know what goes on with the code?
Yeah.
Interesting. If you use the app to activate a charger for a non-Rivian, it will give you the code in the app.
Right.
If you tap to pay with a credit card, not possible.
Yeah, so if you're here during hours, you can still use the bathroom in here, or of course they'll give you the code because
Yeah,
it's
when
usually manned.
it's staffed during the day, so they'll
Yeah.
let you in. But if you come at night and you tap to pay, there's no restroom access. You have to use the app.
Hours are 7 to 7.
7 to 7. Nice. Let's run around back because this is where, you know, again, you're here for, I'd like to say 10, 15 minutes, but in a Rivian, let's be honest, 30, 45 minutes.
Yep.
Rivian, please improve charging.
Yep.
You've got a great place to come and hang out. So you've got a nature walk that they built, which is basically just this little back area. And it's a cool hangout spot. So you can learn about the local plant life. Is this supposed to look like this, Alyssa?
No.
No?
No, it's dying. It's not doing good.
Maybe one of the viewers knows. Maybe it's seasonal. Maybe it comes back.
Maybe.
Anyway, cool vibe going through here. I love the desert vibe. It's my favorite.
Yeah, that's what your plan was to do for the plants inside of our hub, but I did not get any of those.
No, Alyssa comes back with all these plants that look like we're in a tropical rainforest. And I'm like, no, I wanted it to look like a
I
desert.
like a good fiddle leaf, all right? So this is all going to be
Kids play area.
kids play area. This is literally going to be, after this video is posted, maybe like in a week or so, or end of the month, end of the year. End of the year, it'll definitely be out. And again with this as well.
Adult supervision is required, Alyssa.
2 people max.
And I love that they got the little Rivian on unstable ground there. How cool is that?
Yeah, so
Everything
it's
is so well thought out. I love it.
It is, and it just looks so aesthetically pleasing too.
Yeah, that's the Rivian thing. They just know how to make you want to buy a freaking Rivian.
Yeah.
You come here and you go, I go to the Mercedes charging hubs and you're like in this lounge with techno
Sterile.
music and the TV on the wall. And you come here and you're part of nature and it's so cool. So they also have vehicles on display. Here's a R1T Tri with all the off-roady stuff and some accessories available. So cool, again, you can come here, play around with their vehicles and learn about them, which they're fantastic vehicles. All of these wood accents were made locally, and then they collected the sawdust and made the table that's inside
Yeah.
in sort of a mold of some kind. Come this way into my conference room. In here, you have a place where you can host a little meetup. Perhaps we can even do an out-of-spec meetup here one day. I don't know why we would do that here, but we could. And they will even hold classes here, Alyssa.
Yeah, so they had, they're in the works of kind of part of the community to learn more about how to just leave less of a footprint while you're off-roading and enjoying this type of environment. How to, oh, that was so cute. A little puppy through the tunnel.
Look at everyone drifting in the Rivian. That's awesome. See, that's branding. Sideways in your Rivian, towing with your Rivian. So cool.
Yeah. I mean, they really do a great job branding and really making their community feel like they're a part of the brand, which is totally awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, love the space. I think it's really cool. They can get, local members of the community here. It's a cool spot, again, just to work, do a company offsite here, something, if you're Rivian, you can come and use this space. You can actually purchase accessories too. So if you're planning on getting stuck, you can get tow straps, you can get roof bars, max tracks, all available right there. The roof bars aren't going to help you get unstuck, but you can get some cool off-roading accessories, which is, I think, pretty convenient.
Awesome. Yeah.
You come here, you think you're going to do a quick charge, and then there goes $500 on accessories.
Yeah, seriously.
So that's really it, Alyssa. There's this is the garden tour, by the way. So you can take a stroll through our landscape showcasing plant species native to the region. Please ask a guide for an info sheet if you want to learn more. And that's a Joshua tree.
Good job.
I know that because it's labeled. So yeah, just a cool spot to come and hang out and charge. I think that's a really good idea. I really hope Rivian takes this approach and builds more experiences into landscape and other places around the country. For those of you who don't live in America, it's really hard to just picture America as one scene. We have a bunch of different landscapes across the whole country, many of which we've been lucky enough to feature on this channel. And giving Rivian owners and non-Rivian owners the opportunity to come experience, learn about it, and make it a bit of a destination charge rather than just a off-highway rest stop that's boring to charge at. Well, I think this makes car ownership and driving more fun. So shout out to Rivian for building this park. Shout out finally to them for opening up to non-Rivian vehicles. I'm absolutely thrilled that we're able to bring non-Rivian vehicles here. Currently, they have CCS handles on everything. Perhaps they'll switch to NACS at some point in the near future, along with their vehicle rollout. We'll see. Thankfully, adapters go both ways, but I want to get past this adapter society as quickly as possible. So that's the Rivian Charging Outpost Joshua Tree. Any final thoughts, Alyssa?
I really love it. I do. It's a very serene, peaceful place to come, and I feel like it'll make your charging less stressful if you are stressed out while charging, which some people might be. And
I'm always focused on let's get the maximum performance, but if I have something like this, you can just chill.
Yeah, you can chill. I think they're gonna put hammocks out there as well, so you can literally chill. And yeah, I think it's a great
implementation.
Yeah, that word. Into this community, which is awesome.
Cool. Well, thanks so much for watching another Out of Spec Reviews video and a tour of the Rivian Joshua Tree Charging Outpost. We'll see you on another one again soon. Bye-bye. By the way, a little nighttime view for you guys. Really nicely lit here. They have covers on the top of the lights to help with light pollution. And yeah, this place just looks awesome here at nighttime, I have to say. Really cool. I guess some people were complaining about the lights from the chargers being bright. I'm not 100% sure. I think they're not any brighter than the lights that are down in town over there, but maybe there's another reason. Not sure. I guess they're doing light pollution studies here. But here at nighttime, wow, what a beautiful environment. These things are bright, I guess. So that's good for normal parking lots, but maybe not out here when you want to do stargazing.